we have talked in general what are the roles and the characteristics of engineers, and now we might ask ourselves, what do engineers generally do? Some of the things that they do, and I think I've mentioned most of them, is that they design products. And you're talking about products. Product might be a phone, if you're now talking about electrical engineers, a laptop, a TV, a car, an airplane. You can name them, a bus. All of these are devices or products. So an engineers make those things. And what I have always told my students is that engineers are not technicians. So you might have seen a fudua radio hapo kwenu. Ikiharibika unampelekea. You take to them your radio, it gets fixed. The repairman of your radio is not an engineer, because that is a technician. They have just learned some skills. They were trained by someone else. They got some basics of what is required to do to fix a radio, and they fix. So that is not engineer per se. They are just technicians. Technicians do lower job than what engineers do. And you might also see that, like, you need power installed at your home. So you'll find a team of Kenya Power coming. And at the very, very minimum, you might have an engineer, and the engineer is not going to be the one doing the job. He's going to have an engineers plus technicians. So engineers are going to give to do the design, and then the manual job that is done, that required to be done, is done by technicians. So they are going to go up the pole, connect the poles, do the wiring. But now the design of how much or how thick the wire should be is determined by the engineer. The length of the cables is done by the engineer, etc. But now these other technicians are now doing doing the manual connection. Connect this wire to this other wire, do that. So that is the major item that you must always observe. So what you are training is that at the end of the day, because of lack of job, you might do this. But the primary role that engineer does is the design. So don't say that you cannot do the job that technicians does because you are a trained engineer. Sometimes you might be looking for a job, but you can't find it. For that reason, you can end up doing the entire job. But what you're going to be training you is to design and come up with products that meet the safety, reliability, and the cost constraints that can be used by the society. So we are going to be designing machinery as well. We are going to be designing machinery, build and test this product, designing plants. So talk about plants, and you should also know that engineers build plants. Talk about a factory. Factory, first of all, there is the building that is built. The building is drawn by the architect, and then here comes structural engineers, and then we also have now probably electrical engineers coming here. So that this building is going to be supplied power. So you design the kind of wire sizes, the transformer that can supply. So the one that is going to receive power from the Kenya Power, and then that is going to supply power to your building. So that work is done by an engineer. The building has been built, and it requires to be now the power to be installed. You're going to have technicians come here, they fix, following the design that has been done by the electrical engineer. So that should become quite clear and straightforward with you by now. So plants are like factories that perform other products are made. So you as an engineer should also be trained to design plants, design systems. And when I talk about systems, I think the one that comes to mind is automatic vehicle system. And think about it, that in the old days, or even today, vehicles were having a manual gear where the driver is always shifting from gear 1 to gear 2 to gear 3, etc. But with some systems that have been developed called control systems, the car engine or the gear system notices or like senses when gear should be changed to a higher gear or a lower gear. That kind of a system that manages the exchange or change of gear from one level to another. That is definitely a system that has been designed by actually an electrical engineer, so that even if the car is on an uphill, it will know that require a gear number 1 or number 2. But now if I'm on a highway that is level ground, it might require gear number 4 or 5, etc. So that is what kind of systems that you as an engineer should be trained to build. Now talk about designing, planning, and supervising the construction of building. And I think I've already mentioned that. Highways, transit system. And now here you're talking about general engineers. General engineers involves mechatronic engineers, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, etc. So as an engineer, you must be in a place to design, plan, and supervise. So what I'm giving you is a big picture of what you are going to become. You're not going to become a technician who can only fix a radio or a TV. Probably you can be able to do those things, but you're going to be a higher ed kind of a person who can be relied upon by the society, by the country, even by the world to build better systems and buildings and highways, etc. Engineers also develop and implement ways to extract, process, and use raw materials such as petroleum and natural gas. So you can also, I believe most of you are Kenyans, and you have heard that some 4 or 5 years ago we started exploring petroleum in the northern Kenya, and really what the work that was done majorly was that of engineers. Probably those ones might have been majorly the petroleum engineers, but again notice that there were mechanical engineers there, there were electrical engineers there, etc. They also exploit resources to satisfy the national needs.